All right, I'm going to call to order the meeting of the River Plantation Municipal Utility District Board of Directors on Friday, February 4th at 1:30 p.m. Items on the agenda are, number one, receive comments from the public.
Okay, what I want to do, first of all, is tell all of you what it means to be a board member. Some people don't understand this. You've got a fiduciary responsibility to do what's best for the whole community, not for yourselves or your little buddies. Now you need to attend the meetings, and if you accept any responsibilities, you've got to fulfill those obligations. Now when an item is up for a vote, the member should do his research to know what he's voting on so he can make an informed decision. Now when a decision is made by the board, even if you disagree, you go with the majority. This whole group here acts as one. You are only 1/5 of this board, no more and no less. Now this is what makes a good board member, and it is also what makes a good team player, and that's what you all should be. Now I'd like to talk about Gerard. And I'm going back to that April 19th, 21 video. It's part 4, where Gerard tells everybody he did a virtual tour. Now, if he would have come out there and said, I haven't seen anything, but this is my opinion, it'd be a different story. But he actually made it seem like he knew what he was talking about. Then in the May 21st video, he was questioned again. And he looked to Tom and Taylor to back him up that he did a virtual tour. Well, I'll tell you, there was a long pause there of dead silence. Actually, it was just a conference call. That's all it was. It was not a virtual tour. But Gerard said he considered a conference call and a virtual tour the same thing. Well, a conference call is a telephone call between people. A virtual tour, you're going to have videos, you're going to have photos, you're going to have a narrative. That was not what was on this. And then on the July 14th meeting, Richard started asking Paul any questions. Now everybody knew it was Gerard, and Julie called him out on it, and he admitted, yeah, he put Richard up to it. Now really, what kind of a person is going to use an employee to do his dirty work here? Now in addition, he's the secretary but doesn't do the minutes, we're paying the attorney. Now, he accepted a position on the construction/finance committee, but he never showed up for a meeting, so it was left to Tim and Richard to do all the work. Now, he was also on the committee to look at management companies, never showed up to that one either. He leaves all the work to be shouldered by everybody else. Now, this is not good. We are wasting our time and our money, and you need to resign. And if you don't resign by the next board meeting, I have more. I mean, every time I listen to those videos, I'm coming up with something else. It is just not right. So I'm done with you, Gerard, but I've got 2 other items here. The disc golf course, I'm against that. When people were talking about a park, they were afraid we were gonna have people in from other areas, and a disc golf course would bring people in from other areas. And the emergency road, we have a road. People can use that from the plant to Terra. We don't need to do anything more. You make a road, they will come, they will be using it. And you cannot be gating off Mosswood people. So that's it.
Okay. Thank you, Dee.
You're welcome.
Can I address the road? What I know about the road?
Yeah.
They were only going to put like a foot of gravel on each side of the cart path, just so that if they fell off and it was muddy or whatever.
Well, that's what I recall from that conversation.
Right.
The thing
That's
is,
what I remember.
you know, but the thing is, it's really not that big. How many times, we've lived there 25 years. How many times have we actually used that road for the Mosswood people?
Not very much.
Not very many at all. I would say if something starts getting cracked, then fix it, but just let it go the way it is.
Yeah.
So we have a flood, somebody has an emergency vehicles can't get back there?
Sure they can.
Yeah,
Tara,
not
do
necessarily.
the thing and go. Like everybody else, we got trucks and everything else there.
We didn't come to talk about that today, but I appreciate your input.
Well, and it's uncommon.
Yeah.
I don't think you can block it off either. They were talking about putting barriers and stuff like that. If you put barriers up there, then people can't use golf carts on there. people have to go around with
Yeah,
bicycles.
there was enough room for they were gonna leave enough room for the golf carts, but not for, vehicles.
Okay.
So, anyway, that was what I got from it, so, okay. All right. Are you good?
I'm good.
Okay, thanks, Steve. All right, number 2, the resolution authorizing the submission of the bond application. Davis, you wanna explain it? Or
Sure. I will tell you that this is a document similar to what you saw previously for the park bond application. As we discussed last time, we cannot or could not submit the schedules, debt service schedules necessary to submit the WS&D bond application until we had sold the park bonds. So now that we have those debt service schedules, Lauren and his office have provided the information to Taylor necessary to complete the application. Taylor has included the cost summary. You'll note that in the resolution and corresponding order, we still have $7,310,000. Taylor's current cost summary is $6,950,000, and so approving the resolution for the $6,950,000 in the corresponding order are what is necessary to go ahead and get the bond application out the door, so we can move forward with the projects. So.
Any questions? No? Okay, so, I'm guessing I need to I need a motion to authorize the, processing of the, resolution or authorize the submission of bond application. Yeah, I know.
Okay, I'll move we approve the application, the bond application.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
No.
You vote?
Aye.
Oh, okay, so we have 4
I did.
ayes and 1 nay. Okay, approved. Okay. So, Davis, do I sign on the first blank line where it says title and then secretary signs?
That's exactly right.
Okay,
And that is just evidence of the board's vote in favor.
okay.
There's 3 of those, Julie.
Yeah,
This document will have to be corrected because it says all directors voted aye.
That's exactly right.
yeah, but it's the first page,
Yeah.
it's easy to fix.
Prepare them that way, and
Yeah.
it was prepared also before the latest cost summary came out. So we will make those changes, and we make those kinds of changes all the time. So if y'all want to mark it on the document as you sign it, that would be perfectly fine. I normally just draw an arrow down.
Apparently I forgot to sign on this page.
So that will allow us to go ahead and get the application out. Taylor is on, and we have had some conversation about timing, and obviously the interest in moving forward with some of the capital repairs. And so I thought it might be useful, just because of the timing with advertising of projects and design and everything that goes along with some of these projects, thought it might be helpful for you to hear from Taylor on how you might expedite some of these projects, should you choose to do so.
Hey guys, can everybody hear me okay?
Yep,
Good. Sorry, I was on the road to Abilene, and I don't know if you guys know, it's a little icy up here. Anyways, so as Davis mentioned, we had talked about it a little bit. I hoped to have a cost estimate to you guys before this meeting, but it just didn't happen with the short notice. But what I would like is to talk about the sanitary and storm, doing them in 3 phases. The way the district is broken up, you can do everything north of River Plantation, everything west of River Plantation, which is that kind of mossy wood area, and then everything east of River Plantation as kind of the three groupings of the sanitary and storm sewer. So what I would look to do, since you guys are getting some money in from reimbursement from that bond or the park item, that we take some of that money and we start in the design phase of phase one of the sanitary and the storm. What this will allow is for us to kind of start putting together all the information. Should we complete it before we sell bonds? That way we're not on the hook for $300,000 or $400,000 of that total $500,000. It would just be around the ballpark of about $120,000. But also we would be reviewing those videos prior to selling bonds, and that way we can immediately go into a phase one repair while we're doing the televising of phase twos and phase threes. So it would speed up the process. The design will be fairly cheap as far as that goes. And so in the meantime, you won't be out a great deal of money until we bid it. And as soon as bond sells, that's all reimbursable to your operating funds. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So at this time, we would just ask for approval to begin the design of phase one sanitary and phase one storm sewer televised. And then we'll have a cost estimate for you guys at the February meeting, but that'll just give us that extra timeline to get underway with it.
And I think the thought process was, if you all are interested in moving forward with these repairs, quickly, it saves you, what, Taylor, 3 or 4 months on construction time?
That's correct. That's correct.
Well, the first step is going to be televised, right?
That's correct, and that's why I'm saying let's get the televising, as much of the televising we can get done, because that's the cheaper portion of it.
Right.
Prior to the sale of bonds, and that way, when bonds are sold, you are able to go straight into construction of repairs, and you're not waiting 3 or 4 months to televise and then go into repairs. And so that
Gotcha.
way, you're seeing a lot more faster turnaround and boots on the ground and construction, dirt being moved.
Yes.
Showing your constituents that we're moving in the right direction. This is a long process, but we're going as fast as we can.
Did I understand correctly that we can pay for that out of our general fund and then reimburse it? Is that correct?
That's correct. So just as far as schedule goes, so Taylor would put together a package to advertise the cleaning and televising work. And so it would really be, I think, realistically, the engineering expenses associated with that work that would be the expenses that you'd be most likely to incur before you actually close on the sale of the bonds. Because of the timing associated with the he has to put together the package, we have to advertise the work. It's conceivable that you would have a pay estimate or two before the closing of the bond sale, just depending on how that timing works out. But you would be able to reimburse the general fund from bond proceeds as soon as those bonds were sold, if you paid any of those expenses from the general fund.
Sounds good.
So Taylor, I've got one question for you. Do you have an estimate of the cost for the design for phase one? Which is what?
For phase one, it's based off of the City of Houston curves that are in our contract. So it's about $120,000 in construction costs, which will be about a 12% engineering fee. But that's to cover design and construction. So you're looking at $15,000-$20,000 at whole, as a whole.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions?
No, I'm good.
Are we good? We got everything, well, we will get everything signed here in a minute, and is that all we had?
We have to vote on it.
We should, if you want Taylor to proceed with the design, I think you should authorize him to complete the design, and then Taylor, are you ready to get authorization to go out for bids?
Not yet. We'll ask for that at the actual February meeting.
Okay,
Okay,
okay.
Yeah.
okay.
So just authorization to begin the design of phase one of the sanitary sewer cleaning and televising, and phase one of the storm sewer cleaning and televising?
That's correct.
Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion that we authorize Taylor to begin the design phase, correct? The design phase one, televising the sanitary sewers
In the storm.
and the storm sewers.
A second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. All right,
Motion
All
passed.
right, thanks,
Anything
guys.
else?
We'll get started on it.
all right, thanks
Thank you.
Taylor, thanks Lauren, thanks Davis.
Of course.
Okay, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion to adjourn.
Okay, second,
Second.
okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 See you guys later.
Thank
See you in a
you.
couple of weeks.
Stay warm.
All right.
Absolutely.